Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Noise League podcast with William Seda and Landon Peterson. William is 56. I'm 24. We're generations apart, but we still have interests that are the same. You know, we have different views on the world, but we're still the same. But yeah. So I guess we'll kick it off because we missed a lot because we have the Cybertruck. We have like Optimus and all that. It's all sort of happening at the same time.
We have humane.
Yeah, human AI. Yeah, humane AI.
Yes.
With the little box that's what's it called? The
pin.
Oh, no, I forget. The pin. Yeah.
Yes.
That's so many things that we need to discuss. But I guess we're gonna focus on the Cybertruck for this one. Because it's a whole. There's so many elements of the Cybertruck, but yeah, I guess we'll kick it off with what William thinks of the Cybertruck overall as like a thing. Would you buy it in the future, and do you think it's something that is gonna last, basically?
Well, that is a very interesting question because I'm not a fan of cars per se,
No.
but if in the future I'm maybe rich and I have the money and I have money to spend in whatever I want, I will probably buy it. Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
that's
if
what I think.
if I don't have the money and like right now to buy that, I'm not gonna do it. But we'll see. I just want to see how that is going to work in the truck market because people buy trucks, and they're not cheap. So again, we have to see, and that's another thing because this is an electronic car. So we have to see how the people react to the design. Maybe, and all the features that they have. I don't know. I'm afraid to say if it's gonna sell good or not yet.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
There's definitely a thing right now. All the investors for Tesla are trying to see how many they can pump out at one time because of how difficult they are to manufacture. Elon was asked in an interview. He was like, they were like, what's the holdup really? And he was just like, well, there was a pandemic, and then there was a chip shortage, so we weren't going to be able to deliver the truck like no matter what. Even if we could produce it, would be bottlenecked by the what is that called? Whenever you get like a backup of manufacturer supply.
Yes.
But yeah, that was a huge deal. So I get that for sure. But
let me tell you something real quick about that. That may create more, people wanted to have it more.
Yeah, I think so. Scarcity.
Because that happened, I think, I don't know if it was the GameCube or one of the Nintendo platforms.
Oh, yeah.
That they were low in production and the people were like, I want to have one.
Exactly.
So it's going to create, that thing that people are going to be like super interested in having it. At least the people that can get it.
Yeah, I believe that too, for sure. Because I don't know. I guess there's some argument to be made. That's what's happened with the PS5. But PS5 has just been like impossible to get since it came out, but it's mainly because of like scalpers and stuff, I guess, have been buying them all up and then like making them scarce, I guess. But
yeah,
it was the first time I ever saw a product really badly have that happen was the PS5. But yeah, I feel like the Cybertruck, I don't think they would do it out of scarcity. I think they believe in their product so much that they just don't really care, and they're just gonna do it. But they wanted to make sure that that period happened where they were like really really ready to release the product. But Elon did give that timeline that he always gives the timelines that are super off because he's like we can do it in like 2 years, and then like 4 years passed, and the price doubled. So what do you make of that? Like why do you think the price doubled? I don't know what's up with that.
Um, First, I don't think that the time frame would matter that much because it's not a product like everybody's gonna buy.
That's interesting.
So the people that have the money to buy that, I think the ones that are really interested, they are just gonna wait. They don't
singles
care
versus
about.
albums.
I don't think they care about the time that much. Yeah, I think that they're just gonna wait because they just have the money and they're gonna put the money there and they say, yeah, here's my $20,000, and when you get the car, I will pay the rest.
Wow.
In terms of cost, is I don't know. It happens all the time.
True.
When you inflation? I think whenever you have a product and you see that is start to get in delay, that production costs start to zoom out. I think it's just that factor, because you have to fix something here, you have to adjust something there, and that's time and money that you keep spending. So that is going to make the product more pricey. You know?
For real.
And I think that happened with everything, services, products, movies, for example. When movies, most of the movies, they give you a budget with a time frame. Once that time frame start, you don't do the movie at that time frame, the costs start to bump up. So now the budget, they had to put more money into the budget. It's probably time. Time is I think it's the factor that makes it more expensive. Probably.
Wow. So that's like the mechanics of it somehow. That's interesting too because it seemed like you were making the case for the Cybertruck that like it didn't matter if they put it out earlier, I guess, because the scarcity of it and everything probably doesn't matter. But that also drives up the cost. I don't know if it's to me, I think the time is probably, it's a variable for sure, but I think, I see. If they have to like run their entire business and like keep it operational, but they're not bringing in enough sales, then I guess they can't sustain the balance. That kind of makes sense from like the mechanics of why they sell like that and stuff. But
well, again, time frame. Most likely, going back to the people that is going to buy this car, I think they know that this is, realistically, the price wasn't going to be $40,000.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, yeah, whatever you said, but when it came out, I will pay whatever you want.
Yeah. That's the truth too. I kind of think they lowballed it on the beginning. But that's the reason why I was so excited too. But I do have to fix my statement too, because I said doubled in cost, and then I was just thinking about it, and I was like, wait a minute, they only went up like 20,000 for the base model, I think. I think the base model is now like 60,000. The dual motor is 80,000, and the tri motor is 100,000. But before it was the base model was 40,000, and then I think the middle was 60,000, and the tri motor was 80,000. So I think they just went up 20,000.
Yeah, but again, we have to see then in that market of electric trucks, what is the average price?
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
And I will say probably, I don't know, but I will 70,000. Maybe?
Yeah, I think that's probably a pretty average price too. So to come out with like a premier product and it be the first one is pretty impressive that they made it pretty affordable, even with all of its crazy features. But yeah, what was I going to type in? The
and Ford, that's what I said, that people are not going to care that much about that, about the price, because if they're seeing what is the price, and even though if it wasn't more pricey than the average, they will probably, again, the people that is gonna buy it, they're gonna buy it. Now he has to go for the people, the regular people that are buying in this market, and that's when I think that the price probably is in the range, in the average. So I don't think that will be an issue. I think the issue here will be probably the design.
Oh, really? You think that's going to be the reason why people don't buy it, is because of the design?
The regular people, yes. We will we will have to study what are that regular people, what they do, what their style, what is their culture, like in society, and then we will see if the design is gonna appeal to them, because it's like a super futuristic, post-apocalyptic design.
Yeah, the design is interesting, because you were saying basically that the design, we'll throw up the pictures too, and I should probably pull them up and kind of look at them. But
I have a picture here that I didn't send to you. This design, for me, and that's why kind of we are calling this episode "The Future Is Now," because for me, that design, I'm living kind of in the future, on my retro future, because this is the design that I saw when I was a kid in series movies that were from the future and sci-fi. That's not something that you don't notice, that your perspective is not like that, because you're living it right now. You didn't see it when you were younger, like I saw it in movies and stuff like that. But for me, it's kind of it's not something new.
Yeah, it's like the future of the past.
Exactly. like you see it right now, and you're like, wow, that looks super sci-fi, futuristic, different from what are they doing. For me, it's kind of they have done that before, Yeah,
so that's what's interesting too. I mean, the DeLorean and all of its glory. I wish I did more research on the DeLorean and why they did that, but I do like the DeLorean design. I think the DeLorean design is like a timeless, cool car look somehow, even though it does have like a futuristic of the past look, I guess.
Yeah. I did a little bit of research on the Back to the Future car. What's the name again of that car?
The DeLorean?
The DeLorean. That car was kind of a prototype of the future, because it wasn't built for a movie. It wasn't built for the movie. It was this guy, this car in 1981. And like I said, it wasn't for a movie or anything. It was just to build that car. So in a sense, in design, the guy really was ahead of time at that time.
Yeah, for real.
It's not like right now Elon Musk is doing this in 2023, and he's saying the future is now. So yeah, again, it's the future for me, not for you, and it's in retro, because that is a design that have been done before.
Yeah. That's fascinating too.
Yeah, and very interesting is that, like the Cybertruck, when the car was in production, the guy was saying that he was going to sell the car for $12,000. But the production took 4 years, like the Cybertruck. And when we came out, the price doubled too. So it's kind of the same story.
It's the same, the past repeating itself. That is crazy that's the same story. Interesting.
There's something interesting. Elon Musk have a lot of money and he didn't went bankrupt. This guy went bankrupt. And I think he has something with the legal system. I don't know. He had a case, and I don't know if he went to jail for something. I'm just throwing this at the air, but you can look it up on Google. Yeah, the guy kind of probably was a mess.
Yeah, let me look up. Why did the DeLorean go bankrupt? Or John DeLorean, is that his name?
I think so.
That's a pretty sick name.
Yeah.
The lack of demand, cost overruns, and unfavorable exchange rates began to take their toll on DMC's cash flow in late 1981. The company had estimated its break-even point to be between 10,000 and 12,000 units, but sales were only around 6,000. Wow. So the sales were so low.
Yeah, I will blame the design, probably.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Well, I think at the time it was...
Let me... maybe not the design. That may be something, because again, that is something that not like regular people is not going to buy for the price. You know, I think that the design is super cool for me, but maybe for the regular people wasn't. And then it was super expensive at the time. So it was.
And how experimental was the actual mechanics of putting it together? Like, were they as good as Tesla at putting stuff together? I highly doubt it, but I don't know what their brand was like. Was their image already established? When did it come out again? Were you around when it came out, or am I?
Yeah, I think it came out. I think that the lifespan of that car was from 1981 to 1983.
Oh wow, that's crazy. 2 years.
Yeah, because the guy went bankrupt, and he didn't produce anymore. But then it came Steven Spielberg, and he was to do that movie in 1985, and probably he remembered that car, and he was like, "Yeah, this is the car." Yeah,
that's awesome. That's so cool too, because there is a weird, like, everyone kind of understands the future to kind of look like that. I don't know if it's the Cybertruck. Whenever I first saw the Cybertruck, I was actually really put off by the design. I was like, oh man, like, they couldn't just make a cool Tesla truck. Like, they didn't have to make it a weird rectangle, like, edgy looking thing. And the Cybertruck logo itself is so like punkish that I was like, oh, the logo makes it dated to me. But what I'm really happy about is they didn't. This is a thing that I wasn't even planning on talking about, but they didn't put their Cybertruck like text on anywhere on the truck. They put the logo everywhere, or not the logo, the little. They don't even have Tesla branding on it. They just have the little Cybertruck. Yeah, they only have like 2 of them too, and I think the reason because they did that, and this is, to me, it's genius. They didn't have to, because it itself is the logo. Like, it's like it's so different and so hard to replicate. I don't think any other company is going to replicate it. So as a brand, it is like a rolling brand image. Like, it doesn't need a name to be recognized as what it is to me.
Well, because it's so different. But
yeah,
I think when I saw it for the first time, I was design-wise, I was very enthusiastic. I really like it.
Oh, you really liked it? I was disappointed. I don't know why I was so disappointed, but I remember thinking like, oh, I think the original versions looked boxier somehow too. I was like, I don't like that. But the newer ones, as they came out, it either grew on me or they got like slimmer somehow, and they got like nicer looking. But there was a big reduction in size that I saw whenever they were releasing articles before it was released.
When I saw it for the first time, I was like, finally, we're getting to the 2000s, because we still have these cars that looks, they're modern cars, but it doesn't look like the future that I was expecting. So when I saw that, I was like, really? Finally, someone is designing something that it looks like the future that I was expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
But you know what? Let's talk about a little bit about the features. For example, yeah. How about the windows?
Franz, could you try to break this glass, please? Sure? Yeah. Oh my fucking god. Well.
Talk about the windows.
You mean like? You mean the demonstration?
Talk about the windows.
The windows is the best part to me. I think it is the funniest and probably the best thing that could have happened. Even marketing wise, even if it's bad press, I think it's still hilarious because, well, the first one, I guess we'll put the video up too. He went. They handed the guy Franz, who's like the chief designing guy, I guess, at Tesla. That's not his real title, chief designing guy, but it's close. But he takes his metal ball and he throws it at the window. Everyone's seen the video, and you hear Elon Musk like cursing, and he's like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "Oh," he's like, "Maybe that was a little too hard." And then he's like, "Here, try it at the back window."
Maybe that was a little too hard.
It didn't go through. So that's a plus side.
Let's try the right.
Try that one, really? Okay. Sure.
Oh man,
it didn't go through.
And he throws it lighter, and it still busts. I think the back window too. Yeah. So the new one, they came out. I don't know if you guys noticed in the video, but the video, I'm sure everyone did. It's probably all over, but I didn't see any articles about it, which is interesting because I thought that would have been like the first thing. If I was a journalist, I'd be like, they threw a baseball instead of a metal ball this time.
Now you may remember an incident 4 years ago. Didn't quite go as planned. And Franz, maybe we should try it again. Yeah. Yeah. Great. I mean, I think we could probably have a pro pitcher love it if it still work.
Can you throw a baseball at a regular car window at the same force that guy throw it to the Cybertruck? And I think it won't break.
Yeah.
That's
a good idea.
That's what I think.
Honestly, we should release a YouTube video testing that, but I've
been thinking about it because think about it. The first time, of course, it was a metal ball. It doesn't matter how hard you throw that; it was gonna make some damage because it looks super heavy. But this time the guy was like, with that baseball, he was like, like, there you go. And it's like, boop. And I'm like, really? Yeah. Really? And it was so quick. Everything was like, do you want to see the window? You want to see the window? Okay, let's move with the other thing. It was like people are not gonna react to that. He was like, we're gonna do this super quick so people don't notice it. They're just gonna notice that it won't break. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But come on.
I thought that was so funny. Yeah, they did it very, very kind of slick, but I don't think they put a lot of thought into it. They had to have because they changed the ball. But here's my thing. Maybe this was hard to realize though too. Was if you had a professional pitcher right there and it's not supposed to break and it didn't break with a professional pitcher.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Here's the thing. They should have done it and they should have set it off sort of back in a big open space and then just do it. And that would have been pretty awesome. They need to do that.
Yeah, that would
I'm going to post this on X and send this snippet to Elon and be like, please do this so that people know that it's real, Really? I don't know. But I think people would be excited to see that because that would be an interesting thing.
Landon, imagine what you just said. He's doing the presentation, blah blah blah, and he's like, and we're gonna talk about the window now. And we have here I don't know, like a super famous
baseball pitcher,
baseball player, like a pitcher. Oh, and the people were gonna be like, yeah, oh my god. And he's like, yeah, this guy throw the ball like at 90 miles or whatever,
Exactly.
And he's like, Pung!
That would have been awesome.
Yeah, I would be like, what?
Yeah.
This is.
We're gonna.
But right now,
we're gonna definitely send this and see if.
Yeah.
Hopefully, someone's got to do it. There's someone with a Cybertruck. Even if they heard that idea as a YouTube video, you'd get like millions of views because you'd be the guy who tested it. Maybe they already did it. Someone might have already done it, but yeah, I think that's incredible.
Yeah,
but my thing is, yeah, you can go. But
I think we should look for that and just put it in the next episode just to see what happens. Yeah.
Tesla needs to release a specific one where that would be, because I mean they could do their whole marketing thing that they've been doing where it's like done and it's like pitcher throws 250 miles per hour at I don't know how that would work, but I do think there's a reason why he didn't throw it that hard, and it's because everyone was crowded around the Cybertruck. So if he threw it logically, if it didn't break, it would bounce off and go hit someone, and that is why they needed a lot more space. But I get why they wanted people to see it up close, because it was like an unveil event too. But it was definitely one of the most awkward events.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But again, maybe they did that in purpose too. It's like it's like an excuse. Oh, why you didn't try it more harder? Oh, the people were like too crowded and blah blah blah. No. You have to be prepared. You have to be. It had to be a show.
Yeah.
You're doing a presentation and you need to do a show, and I don't think he did it. I don't think like the car is good and everything, but the presentation wasn't that exciting for me, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing is that I wanted to talk about is the metal that the car is is done. Like they say that it's super hard, that you can it's bulletproof and all that, and he's like, yeah, this is the car that you want, because you're gonna be safer and blah blah blah. And I just think, yeah, this is the perfect car for an post-apocalypse world. Like if you're in a Mad Max movie. Have you seen Mad Max movies?
I saw one a while back. I had the game and I was playing that a while back. It was like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I really don't remember them, but I know what they're about. So yeah, they're still awesome.
Basically, they have like battles between cars in the desert.
Yeah,
So this is the car that you need there.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if we need it now in in the city.
Yeah.
But for that kind of world in the Mad Max or post-apocalyptic world, it's perfect.
Exactly.
And another thing is like he's like, yeah, it's bulletproof and whatever. I don't know, man, but I think that if you're in a gang running, or people that are shooting at you, I think they're smarter. If they see that they cannot go through the metal, they're gonna go for the windows, and the windows are gonna break, and they're gonna kill you.
Based on the ball test.
Yeah, and they're gonna kill you anyway.
They're really. I mean, those little features are such like icing on the cake features to me too. That like people kind of focus on them way too much because they are really cool. They're what make it unique. But whenever they did have the original Cybertruck unveil, I will say that was spectacular because I was like, holy cow, it can go that fast. It's a truck. It looks crazy. Like it was like a spectacular initial event, but the launch or whatever it is, whenever the delivery event was not as spectacular for sure.
No, it
but
wasn't.
I will say, like you're saying, the one thing that I saw was that he said during the podcast during the event, I was trying to get this out as fast before it so I can let you talk again, but he said that like if you get in a fight with any other cars, you'll win, which is hilarious.
I want to talk about that. I have a comment about that.
I have a comment too, but I'll let you go.
He said that if you have an argument with another car, you're gonna win.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that you're gonna win an argument if you're in a truck per se. It doesn't have to be the Cybertruck. But let's say that you're in the Cybertruck and it's super hard and everything that you said. This is what I see. You're in an argument with another car. You're the Cybertruck. You hit the other car. You win.
Yeah.
The other guy's dead.
That's true. That's very true. The other guy is definitely dead. That may be sort of. It's not bad advice because I guess he didn't advise to do it. But my thing is, if anyone T-bones a Cybertruck, they will be sorry. That's what I'll say. Because if you T-bone it, I guess we'll clip in the video from their side test. I was like just blown away by how sturdy it was. But it was very funny because, or it's very funny to me that like if someone T-bones you, they're not gonna have. I mean, I say funny. It's terrible if you have any accident or if anything like that. Things happen. But still, I was like, that would be the ultimate truck to get T-boned in. Yeah, even by like a huge truck, you'd be like, what? It didn't even.
I don't think.
Maybe
I don't like that argument very much because what it means. But again, it's not the Cybertruck. Any truck that you have is gonna hit another car and it's gonna be a mess. But I'm gonna tell you why, and I don't think it's the Cybertruck or any other truck fault. Is the way they make cars today. The regular cars today, the way they're done, the metal that they use, they have a lot of plastic parts. It's gonna break anyway. I remember when I was younger, I used to have a car from in the 80s. I used to have a car from the 1970s. It was a Dodge Swinger. It was two-door, but it was big. And the metal on that car, it was like the Cybertruck. It was super hard, So I hit a few other cars, and I don't even do that much damage, But now with the car that I have,
Oh, okay, because every other car was.
Well, no, because that car was so strong, in the 70s, metal and the way that they did car was super, like they were like hard cars.
Yeah.
But right now cars have a lot of plastic on it.
Yeah.
Like the bumpers and stuff like that. That is plastic. In the 70s, it was metal. So what I'm trying to say is that right now, if you have an argument with a truck, no matter what truck it is, you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
Because because the cars are made of nothing, plastic.
Yeah. That's the truth. That's interesting too, because one of the reasons I think iPhone is so great is their design. And I think that there's something to that I think they were applying the same fundamental principles. Like Elon always talks about first principles. Something that feels high quality is always sort of like metal and glass.
Exactly.
And, So I think there's that's a big win on like a first principle basis, which I think is a big variable deep down. It's more like deep seated than something like just general, like looking at it, you're like, it's okay, but it's a weird triangle.
I don't know with your generation, but my generation, when you have something that it was like Elon Musk said, high quality, it was something that it was in metal, that it was heavy, that the perspective was that was a high quality product. Yeah. But right now, almost everything is done in plastic. And I'm going to give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
This microphone that I have here, the Blue Yeti, is made of metal. It's
Williams
heavy.
microphone.
It's heavy.
Yeah.
It looks like it's done with super high quality. These microphones are done by Logitech. So the new generation of microphones that they're doing, because they're not doing these Blue Yetis anymore, I think, the new ones are plastic.
Wow, really?
And
that
I have
sucks.
seen reviews and people say, oh, but this is like plastic and it doesn't look very good. And
that sucks.
so, yeah.
Man, yeah, that's like the Yeti Ice or whatever. Is that the new ones? Yeah,
No, the Yeti
I saw they were
Ice-
plastic.
The Yeti
Or
Eyes
I didn't.
have been replaced too now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
With
they're
more
plastic.
plastic.
Yeah.
Man, it makes sense in a way because the market is a lot smaller. But with something like a flagship phone or a flagship car, I do think that it is very cool to have that construction. I think people want it more deep down, but I don't know how much that benefits Cybertruck. Like you're saying, I think there's a lot to it that just doesn't, isn't going to probably hit the market the way they think it will. But I actually am a big believer that it's going to do fantastic and better than everything else. And a big argument for that is because the thing with the electric trucks is you automatically are like, well, what about the Ford F-150 electric and the the electric Hummer and the electric everything else that every other company is trying to do now? Because I got into an argument with a lady I used to work with. No, it wasn't really an argument, but she was just like, I have a financial advisor and I wouldn't invest in Tesla because Toyota is going to copy them, Ford's going to copy them, everyone's going to copy them. And I was like, have you seen their releases? Have you watched their videos though? Most of my investment is in Tesla right now. I don't know if you're supposed to say what you're investing. I think that's fine, but because I think that Tesla is they're on the edge of everything. They're making everything. I just think they have all of the technology and all of the power, all the manufacturing power. The thing that really sets them apart is the self-driving. If they can figure out self-driving, it'll be 3 times as useful as any other electric truck. So it would just be a no-brainer. No one would be like, oh, I'm gonna get the F-150 Lightning, whenever the Cybertruck will literally just come pick you up and you can go anywhere with not if they get it right. That's still going to take some time, but that's yeah.
What I have to say,
Allegedly.
my conclusion on this kind of conversation that we're having right now is I think you're right, and here's in the sense of she's putting it against Toyota or whatever. But for example, Apple, every other company has tried to copy the Mac.
Yeah.
In the design and in the operating system and everything.
That's a
and they have
fantastic
done
point.
I will say that they have done better designs, but they haven't get in front of Apple yet, So I think that will probably gonna happen with Tesla. I think if he keep introducing better products, he's gonna be there, And again, about the Cybertruck, I think it looks really nice. I like it. If I will have the money, I will buy it, But for right now, I just hope to see if one day we get famous and I can buy one, I don't know, maybe 10 years from now.
That's right, guys. I'm going to unveil the Patreon right now. So if you want to buy William a Cybertruck, go
Thank you.
support the
Please do
Patreon. No,
Yeah,
we may do something like that. That's a joke for now. But that's but yes, we're starting a GoFundMe called Buy William a Cybertruck, and that's what we're gonna do.
We should do it.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
That would be awesome if it worked.
Yeah.
Then we could do the baseball test ourselves.
Oh, yes.
And then Elon, if you're listening, please you gotta help us help you. You know? No, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. The only thing with the patrons is that I think that if you don't get to that goal, you I think you have to give the money back.
Really?
I think so.
Like you mean like Kickstarter? I think that may be like Kickstarter.
Oh, that Kickstarter. Okay.
Yeah.
So in Patreon, I just have the money and I don't have to return it.
Yeah, but you do. I think you have to offer like extra content basically. So you have to be like, give them some stickers or artwork or something that they get every month, and then or something like that, or even just extra YouTube videos.
I can do that. Yeah, because if I don't get the $70,000, but I get 50,000, I will buy me. You know what? I will probably buy a Tesla. Maybe not the truck, but I will buy a Tesla car. Yeah. Yeah, I think that we should do it. Yes.
Yes, we will do it. I have something to say. I do have a reservation. I don't have the money, and nor will I have the money probably. But I would buy it if I could afford it. It is going to be. I'll say this. It is going to be my next vehicle. The Lord willing, if they don't go under for some reason, which I don't think they will. I think they're so stacked against everyone else. But I think, or if they have some sort of production issue, but I will 100% buy that as my next truck if I can afford it. I have to get better living quarters first. As you can see, I'm in my dad's office right now, which used to be in my old room. That's where the writing is from. But yep, that's where I'm at. But hopefully I'll be able to get one. So that's the second GoFundMe is buylandinacybertruck.com. And you're frozen. William! I gotta take a screenshot of this. Look how bad William looks. That's hilarious. William, are you there?
Not bad. Room for improvement. We threw wrenches, we threw everything. We even literally threw the kitchen sink at the glass, and it didn't break. For some weird reason, it broke now. I don't know why. Just fix it in post.